Yeah. All right, Ben Prestage, man.
Yeah.
Great set, dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
That was
Appreciate it.
smoking.
Thanks, man.
Really cool stuff.
All right.
So, some of your background, your grandfather was a sharecropper, huh?
Yeah, my father's father, my dad's dad, was a sharecropper in Mississippi. And my uncle did pick some cotton too, but my dad said he was too young. He used to ride on his brother's cotton sack. His brother used to have to pick cotton and tote the sack behind their back.
Oh,
so, I mean,
wow.
they got them long sacks that drag on the ground.
Right.
And my dad was too young though. He was just a kid, so he used to ride on the cotton sack. He said he remembers doing that, but yeah, he never picked it because he was young then. And my granddad got out of that. My granddad was in World War II, and I guess he got through like the GI Bill or something. He went to school for agriculture. Started doing sharecropping, doing that. He was going to be a farmer, but he ended up just tenant farming and sharecropping. And then he ended up going back to like trade school and became a plumber. And that was when he was a little bit older. And so he started doing plumbing, and that's when he worked with the union and he traveled all over the country. But it finally ended up in Florida.
So does he make you slides now out of the plumbing?
My dad has done that actually.
Out of the
Yeah.
pipes?
I got some
Right.
copper and brass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
definitely.
right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right.
They work too.
And then you moved from Mississippi to Florida. How old were you
Yeah,
when
my
that
dad.
happened?
No, my dad moved. I grew up in Florida.
Oh,
but my dad
okay.
moved to Florida.
All right.
Working through plumbing and traveling through union stuff, and then.
So were you born and raised in Florida?
Yeah. I grew up out
Okay.
near in between Okeechobee and Indiantown.
Got you.
Yeah, it was a rural part of Florida. It was a 14-mile long dirt road, 714, County Road 714, and they called it the grade. It wasn't on a sign, but everybody lived out there called it the grade. And we lived in the middle of it, so it was like 7 miles east asphalt, 7 miles west asphalt, and everything in between was just dirt road. So, I mean, it was just cow pastures and orange groves, and it was rural.
There's ranches and stuff out in the middle of there.
Yeah. The ranch I was out there was Alapata Ranch, and they subdivided some of that. They turned some into ranchettes now. They paved the road in '96, and that's when I moved out from my parents' house. I was about 17, and I moved out, and they paved the road. And they ended up selling the ranch off, and they subdivided some of the plats into like 20-acre ranchettes, and then and some of the other they turned into like state parks. Alapata Flats, I think.
How
State
old
parks.
were you when you went to Memphis?
That was 2003. So I was in
And
early
you
20s.
went to be a street musician, huh?
Yeah, I went out there to perform.
Was that your main, like when you in your mind when you're getting ready to leave to go to Memphis, where you're sitting there going, "I'm gonna go be a street musician," or what was on your mind?
No. I was played at a blues festival somewhere in Florida. I think it was in Fort Lauderdale. But I played at a blues fest, and Richard Johnston was there. He's a one-man band.
Yeah.
And so he was there, and I was fooling around with the one-man band thing, doing more like the Dr. Ross type stuff, just kick drum and hi-hat. At that particular festival, I had an upright bass player and a harmonica player.
Oh, wow.
And I was just doing acoustic and dobro stuff. And he heard me. He was a performer there, too. And he heard me and said, "Hey, man, why don't you move up to Memphis and we'll tour?" Because he was looking for somebody to play with, too, doing the one-man band thing, looking for somebody to back him up.
So two one-man bands back to back.
Yeah, well, he didn't know I was doing the
Intense.
one-man thing, at the time. He just thought I played guitar, so he wanted me to back him up on guitar.
Wow.
So I moved to Memphis, and we started playing, and he was doing the drums, and he would play like the cigar box guitar, the diddly bow,
Right.
with the bass string, guitar strings, and I'd back him up on guitar. And then sometimes we'd switch up, and I would do the diddly bow, and he'd play guitar and drums or mandolin and drums, and I'd play, dobro. So we had we kept switching instruments all the time. And then one day we were playing on the street, and he went on break, and I started playing behind his drum set, and he knew that we did that, so we started switching off. Yeah, so it ended up being like two one-man bands in one.
How long did you do that?
I lived out there for about a year.
Okay.
Had enough of that.
You had your fill.
I had my fill.
Tourist trap.
Yeah, Memphis is a cool town. It's good and bad, just like anywhere. But I'm from Florida, and I like being down here. So.
Right. When you finished that up, came back down, and how did your current kit evolve?
Yeah. I started doing the.
'Cause it's pretty elaborate. You got how many foot pedals are over there now?
Yeah. To answer your first question, I started on the kick drum and the hi-hat. I had it backwards.
Okay.
I had the kick drum with my left foot and the hi-hat with my right foot. Now when I played with Richard, he had it the opposite. So when I got on his kit for the first time, all my drum beats were backwards. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I had to kind of switch everything in my brain.
Flip your brain around.
Yeah, to get his set. So then I kind of
trying
had
to play
think-
left-handed.
Yeah, exactly. So the first time I did it was a little backwards, but then I figured that out. When I moved back to Florida, all I had was a kick drum with my right foot, and with the front of my left foot, I had the snare drum, and with the back of my left foot, with my heel, I had the hi-hat. So I could rock my foot back and forth from my toes to my heel to get snare and hi-hat. So I did that when I first moved to Florida, but I was like, man, I'm missing something. So I added the tom to give a little breakdown, break up the beats a little bit. I added the tom with my left foot. And then,
you get more of those tribal sounds.
Exactly, yeah. And it just break down the song a little bit, because all the one-man bands, all you hear all night is boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap. I couldn't stand it, and I was getting sick of myself hearing that. And a lot of one-man bands did that. So I started mixing up the drum beats with the tom. And then here about a year ago, I came up with the idea to have a double snare pedal. So I can play with my right foot, I can play the kick pedal, or the snare. I can get the kick drum or the snare drum with my right foot. With my left foot, I can also get the snare and the hi-hat and the tom. So I can do on the, I don't know if you can hear that on the microphone, but with my double pedal on the snare, I can get, little different beats. Yeah, I can do rumble beats, I can do like a second line, and I can do little shuffle patterns and stuff too.
Yeah. So that was the breakthrough.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the total breakthrough. I got an idea now. I'm going to build a ride cymbal rig too, so I can turn on it. I built one too, and it works pretty good. But I gotta have like a machinist make it or something, so it's more stable.
Interesting.
But once I do that, then I'll sound more like a real drummer.
Right. Now, what about your? Is the cigar box the only one that has the two separate pickups, two separate outputs?
Yeah, I have
one's
two.
One's going to a bass amp, one's going to a guitar amp, right?
Yep. Yeah, I have two cigar box guitars. One of them's a 6-string, and it plays like a regular guitar. I mean, anybody that plays guitar can play one. But the difference is the 6th string and the 5th string go to a bass amp. The third, second, and first string run to a guitar amp. So there's 2 quarter-inch outputs.
The bottom strings are an octave lower. Is that right?
No. Not on the 6th string. It's regular guitar strings. When I use heavy strings, I use 12s or 13s.
Okay.
Fairly heavy strings, and I tune it down low. I tune it down to C or B.
Okay, that makes
So it's
sense.
more like a baritone guitar tuning.
Right.
And then I tune just open tunings on it. But yeah, with the 6th string and 5th string, I can do my bass lines, and with my right hand, I can do my thumb does the bass lines, and finger pick. So all the lead and rhythm stuff is with my other fingers. With the 2 outputs, like I said, you got them in stereo. I keep my bass amp on the right side and the guitar amp on the left side of the stage. So when you're hearing it live, it really sounds like 2 different people playing.
It really does. I mean, that's one of the things I was kind of impressed about. I've seen the one-man band thing before, but like the way you do it is much more musical.
Yeah, I try to sound like a band when I play. I mean, that's really the goal.
If you just close your eyes,
yeah,
it's there.
It's really the goal, and I'm starting to get it. There's some songs I can do where you can close your eyes and it'll sound like a 3-piece or 3-piece with a harmonica player.
Now, is your you said you have a CD coming out in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It's all done, wrapped up.
Yep. It's being duplicated
CD
now.
Or?
Duplicated now. Yeah. It's done in the studio. It'll be all originals. I think there's like 2 traditional tunes on there, obscure. One's a Tampa Red tune and one's just like a traditional tune.
What's the name of the CD?
It's gonna be called One Crow Murder.
One Crow Murder.
Yeah, a group of crows is a murder, like a.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So some people don't know that, but it's a play on words of me being a one-man band. I'm a One Crow Murder, One Wolf Pack.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
So that's the title track. And, there's some fingerstyle stuff on there. There's a lot of blues and maybe 1 or 2 with some country flavor to it. Yeah. So I think it's definitely my best CD yet. So really looking forward to getting it out there.
How many songs is on that?
13.
13.
Yeah.
I saw your last CD was like, was it 2 CDs in one?
Yeah,
collection?
it's a double. Yeah, it was like 27 songs.
Yeah, it was a lot of tunes. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I recorded that last one at Spring Break in Panama City Beach. I had a gig up there. It's like the second biggest bar in Panama City. It's a big place.
Yeah, I know about this. But
yeah.
Pineapple Willie's.
Pineapple Willie's, yeah. And I played there 6 nights a week for 4 weeks during spring break.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a different crowd every night because all spring break kids, And it was crazy. Every week you had like the Midwest one week, and then you had like Alabama came down one week, and then you had like all the New York or New Jersey came down one week. I mean, it was crazy, man. Some of the Midwest kids dug it a little bit. The New Yorker kids didn't know what to think too much, but when you got the Tennessee and Alabama crowd there, they're going crazy. So, I mean, it is what it is. We had a good time though. It was a good. It was a good night every night. And
so what's next after when your CD comes out? Are you gonna tour? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm constantly touring now. I'm doing like 5 nights a week now. I'll be in Florida now for the next month. About a month and a half. Then I'm doing a short run up to Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey area, Northeast. Then I come back to Florida for a couple weeks. Let's see. In June, I'm going to Europe. It'll be the 5th time I'm in Europe. And I'm going to play Holland, Belgium, possibly Switzerland, Hungary. Definitely Hungary. I'm doing a festival there. England, Scotland, and Wales. So I'll be busy in the month of June. Then I come back in July and August. I'm doing a tour through the United States. I'm starting in Florida and heading up to the Northeast, and then shooting out to Colorado. And we're trying to set up some stuff for Texas. And
are you still on your own label?
Yeah, I own my own record label.
Right.
Yeah, but I have a.
Do you record yourself as well, or?
I have a friend of mine that's a recording artist. He teaches at Full Sail. Full Sail University in Orlando.
Right.
He's a teacher. He teaches recording arts there, so he knows what he's doing.
It's kind of like that's the way that the industry is kind of moving slightly in that direction. Some
Yeah,
people will argue with you, but the label system in some ways is kind of dying off.
I think.
Depends on how you look at it.
Anybody that I've known on a label, they might help them a little bit, but it seems like if you're willing to work for yourself too, you can do the same for yourself.
It's all about promotion and distribution.
Exactly, and I just started learning that this past year. I never did any promotion. I just show up to the gig and play. But I have, my Facebook is huge. MySpace was huge until it died.
Right.
And I got a lot of people buying my CDs online, and a ton of them, buying them at my shows. And I stay busy working doing that. But I just realized in the past year.
Website where people can buy things?
It's I got a brand new one. It's Ben Prestage Music. So BenPrestage Music. So my last name is spelled like Prestage. Some people try to spell it like Prestige.
Okay.
But it's Prestage. So BenPrestageMusic.com. And if you Google my name, it'll come up. Even if you spell it wrong, it'll come up. So you can find all that. You can find my whole calendar, everywhere I'm going to be. You can buy CDs on there. Booking information's on there. I have live video footage from festivals in Belgium, from festivals in Florida, Alabama. You can listen to music on there and stuff. So.
All right, man. I think it's almost about time for you to get back at it.
All right,
RJ Howson, Ben Prestage.
Yeah.
Signing
Very
off.
good to meet you. Thanks for everything, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hope to see you again.
Second set.
All right, thanks, man.